Welcome. Look at all these gorgeous graphics. Look at all these gorgeous visuals and overlays. I am excited about today because of all the new stuff. I look nice and professional and high end, which is good. This is the Sunday show. I'm Spartacris, here for the Generational Gaming and Entertainment Network, and Sunday is all about the updates. This week we actually had a whole bunch of updates and announcements, and I'm pretty sure today there's like a fan fest going on, and more trailers are coming out. It's almost too much for me to even keep track of, so I'm gonna have to go through some of those new trailers and new announcements over the next week. But I have already a whole bunch of stuff from last week that I'm ready to kind of just go over and talk about. As always, today's episode is meant to really kind of help those who can't really keep track of everything, up to date on all the stuff that we're into, all the nerd stuff, the TVs and movie shows, the comic books, if there's any announcements for comic books, even the books and stuff like that. I'm trying to just kind of go through it all. Anything that jumps out and stands out to me, I'm just gonna relay to all you guys out there, and let's just kind of get started. First, let's see. We're gonna go start with the Zack Snyder Army of the Dead. The trailer came out this week, and so Zack Snyder really kind of blew to popularity with the Dawn of the Dead remake. I was a huge fan of that movie. I think it still holds up now when you watch it. It's one of the better, scarier, zombie movies, especially for the first maybe half, and then it turns into a little bit more of like an action kind of movie. It's got a lot of his signature style, a lot of kind of useless slow mo, but in that particular movie, his style, his vision really worked for me. That and 300, in my opinion, are his biggest hits. I understand maybe he made more money with Batman vs Superman, but as far as the quality of the movie, those two movies in particular are great. And really, if you want to see one of the best, in my opinion, openings of a horror movie ever, go watch Dawn of the Dead remake. The beginning of that movie, the first probably 20 minutes, which goes into hinting at the zombie outbreak, full blown, you're in someone's house during the outbreak, to seeing the scale of the outbreak, is one of the best zombie things. I've always preferred the slower zombies that don't run at full speed, but in his movie, he makes it work. The Dawn of the Dead is an excellent movie. So having said all that, I was excited when they announced he's coming back to the of the Dead world with Army of the Dead, and it's basically about a group of, I guess, ex-military, it looks like, who are trying to essentially perform a heist in Vegas, in a casino during a zombie outbreak. It looks, based off the trailer, like the zombies are the fast-running zombies. It looks very similar in style to the Dawn of the Dead movie. But I feel like, I don't know if this was done on purpose, I feel like the trailer is a little bit more campy, I guess, than maybe it was intended. I don't know if that was the goal, but it doesn't feel like a good solid horror kind of a movie, which is kind of what I want, especially for a zombie movie. It seems like it's going to be more of an action movie. I'm sure it'll have some slower horror moments, but it doesn't seem like it's going to be a great follow up. If I'm being honest, I like Dave Bautista. He's one of the leads in the movie. And then Zack Snyder. Again, I kind of like his style and all that stuff, so I will watch it. But I was just a little turned off by what I saw in the trailers. For anyone, if I'm doing it right, you'll see right in this area here a picture of the cast essentially in costume, and you can see Dave Bautista all the way on the side there. The rest of the cast, I'm sure there's other people in the movie that are known that you'll recognize, but he's probably the biggest name that I've seen besides Zack Snyder being the director. A couple of things though. People are excited for this movie because it broke the record. I'm sorry, I'm thinking of Mortal Kombat. It didn't break any records. It's just a Dawn of the Dead movie, or Army of the Dead movie. So it comes out May 21 on Netflix. So make sure you keep an eye out for it. The trailer is out now. There's a red band trailer and a regular trailer. Um, you know, Again, let me know what you think. If you think it kind of looks like a good worthy follow up to Dawn of the Dead. Um, I don't know. I wasn't 100% sold on it. So, and moving on would be going back to the Mortal Kombat reboot. I know I've talked about it a lot, but in the Mortal Kombat reboot, the big announcement this week was that the reboot actually broke the record for most views for a red band trailer that was previously held by Deadpool 2. 116 million views for the Mortal Kombat reboot trailer. If that's not a sign that the world is ready for a serious Mortal Kombat movie, a serious Mortal Kombat universe. If that's not a sign that Mortal Kombat is primed to finally break the mold of terrible video game movies and maybe give Hollywood a thought that they should take these games seriously as fodder for the movies coming out, then I don't know what is. I know the more and more I watch the trailer, the more and more I'm psyched for the movie. I do have my gripes, but I've basically fully put both feet into the pool of I'm ready for it, I'm all in for it, and I'm excited for this movie. So now that's coming out soon. Everyone, be ready to watch this movie. It's coming out very, very, very soon. That's going to be on HBO Max April 16th. And I believe it's only staying on HBO Max for 30 days. So you only have basically a month to watch it. And then it's coming out, I guess, to go on into theaters, or maybe to come, maybe it won't be free after the 30 days. But April 16th can't come fast enough. I'm freaking pumped for it. So the other in movie news, also, it was announced this week that Superman is getting a reboot from the production company of J.J. Abrams. I don't. So Man of Steel, in my opinion, is one of the better DCEU movies. I did like the direction they kind of started in that movie. I know the ending had some kind of split, some fans split, but I mean, it was better than the Superman movies we've seen, the Superman movies we've seen. So I don't understand why people hated on it so much. I will say though that Henry Cavill clearly is not that interested anymore. He's killing it over with The Witcher. He looks like he just kind of announced a Mass Effect movie or TV show or something that he's going to be involved in, which is great. I mean, Mass Effect is a phenomenal series, so there's a lot of lore and a lot of story you could tell using that as your base. He is not that interested in getting back to the DCEU and all the crap essentially that comes with being Superman. So I don't really blame him for moving on and for not caring. I also think it's kind of a smart move on DC's part if you're going to use Flashpoint to essentially reset the timeline and kind of redo the mistakes you made. Henry Cavill was a good Superman, but if he is in the role, it's always going to be connected to what came before. So better to just kind of recast the role and let someone else take over. Maybe someone younger who can sign on for a 10-year contract. Again, Warner Brothers, if this ever gets to you in some random timeline, instead of giving Superman and Batman their own movies, I believe they should be used to strengthen the movies of other B-level characters. Blue Beetle is a great example. He's a great comic book character. He was a great character in the Injustice video games. People know the name if you know the comics or the cartoons that are on TV or the movies even, but the regular moviegoer doesn't know Blue Beetle or who like what their powers are or what's the reason for their character. If you want to announce a Blue Beetle movie, make sure obviously the character is good, the movie looks good, but if you pair them with Superman, suddenly you have a lot of people who do know Superman interested in what the next project is with Superman. They sort of did that with Spider-Man Homecoming. They paired Peter Parker or Spider-Man with Iron Man, not because people don't know Peter Parker or Spider-Man in that sense, but because people were tired of the reboots already. It was the third Spider-Man we had in the last decade. So people who liked Iron Man, though, were interested and going to go see it. They did the same thing with Thor Ragnarok. They knew that Thor was not the most popular Avenger at that point. And while they knew they had a good product with the Taika Waititi directing and all that stuff, they put the Hulk in there as a major part of the movie. And the reason for that is because people did like the Hulk. And people were interested in what happened to the Hulk after Age of Ultron. So now you got this entire group of fans who maybe wouldn't go see a Thor movie who come to see it. You win them over, all of a sudden you got a hit on your hands. It's the same thing with Superman and Batman. Everybody in the freaking world knows who Superman is, what his backstory is, what his powers are. Everyone in the world knows Batman, who he is, and what his powers are. And his money and the whole nine, his origin story. We don't need a rehash. We don't need a retelling or a reboot. We don't need you to even change their character so much. Instead, let's see them feed off of other characters. I think 100%. Superman does not need his own movie anymore. We get it. We all know he's super strong, and there's a meteor that apparently everyone on Earth has, and they can use against him. let's just let him help out other characters. Let him be the leader that people want to see, and he let him teach other people or other heroes how to do their thing. So that's my take on the Superman movie. I'm a fan of J.J. Abrams. He gets some flack for his style, but I think he's an excellent director, an excellent writer. His reboot for Star Trek was amazing. The Force Awakens was amazing. There were a lot of mistakes in Rise of Skywalker, but I don't think that was really his fault. I think that was really more the studio getting involved and being a little scared because of some of loudmouth fans online. So for him to redo it is fine. I think it'll be good as long as he cuts back on the lens flare. It'll be all right. But that's my take on Superman. So let's move on. And also now going into TV, the TV world, Transformers. For anyone who's a Transformers fan, there is a Transformers animated series in the works coming to Nickelodeon. It's basically going to be a brand new version of the Transformers characters and story. Obviously, I'm sure we'll see a lot of the same characters and maybe updated versions of them. But we are getting a brand new Transformers series for anyone who was a big fan of Transformers growing up and you want to connect with your kids. Now's the time. Start showing them the cartoons. Maybe avoid most of the Michael Bay movies unless I guess they're a little older, and get ready for a Transformers show. The Transformers show is being created by the same people who did the Rise of the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, or the Rescue Bots show. They don't have a date yet, but it's being worked on, so it's going to be coming out soon. It's all I know so far. 26 half-hour episodes have been ordered, and it's an action comedy series. So that's not bad. I was never a giant Transformers fan. I actually enjoyed the Michael Bay movies, but I never got into the cartoons too much. So sticking in the TV world. Now this I am a big fan of, and I'm actually going to be reading the comic book soon because the show is so great. The Boys Season 3. The first look, Carl Urban released a picture, and it basically just looks like a statue almost of Homelander, but it's like zoomed in on his crotch. I don't even know if it's Homelander. Actually, it looks like there's an eagle or a falcon or something on the belt. But Season 3, just started shooting, and Carl Urban is just amazing. The show is fantastic. If you haven't watched the show, it's on Amazon Prime. There's 2 seasons. They're not very long seasons. It's absolutely worth watching, especially if you find yourself one of these people who's a little tired of the superhero, takeover in the entertainment world. I know there are some people who feel superhero fatigue, comic book fatigue. They're tired of these movies and these shows. The Boys, while it is based off of superheroes and supervillains and blah, 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 kind of takes the whole concept of the superhero, flips it on its head. It's phenomenal show, worth watching. Just for everyone, in case it's not clear, the show is basically rated R. It's violent, it's gory. It's not for children, so don't be bringing your kids to come see it. It's definitely for adults, but it's absolutely worth it. And season 3 started filming. It just makes me excited. Season 2 was amazing and left us with a lot of questions. So that's my take on The Boys. And let's just keep going. The Game Awards announced on Twitter that a Halo TV series is not only in the works, but it's coming to Paramount Plus, and it will be coming in the first half of 2022. So for anyone who is a fan of Halo or Xbox, this is big news. I never was the hugest fan of the Halo games. I played Halo 1 and 2, and then I really never went back to them. I like Xbox for the most part. I think the games are good. I personally felt they were overrated when they first came out. But it's still, I'm all for, I want video games to kind of get into the movie and TV world. There's a lot of good stories, good characters and good moments, and just some amazing baller things that are, can make for really good TV and really good movies. So we need that property. I'm fingers crossed that Mortal Kombat, the movie, does it in the movie world. Halo maybe could do it in the gaming, in the TV world. But that's big news for, we've heard a lot about a Halo TV series for a long time. If you go on YouTube, there's a lot of fan-made videos that are done really well. All the cinematic cutscenes in the games are all done really well. I mean, the material is there. We just need to find the right person to do it. I was excited back in the day when Neil Blomkamp was set to do a Halo movie, and he's the guy who did District 9, if you guys don't know, which is a great movie. So I was excited then he fell off the project, and we never kind of heard anything since then. So I'm guessing this is going to be a brand new creative team. It's worth it. The fact that it's coming to Paramount is a little iffy to me. I don't want it. It doesn't need to be super duper violent, but it also shouldn't skimp back on the violence and gore. But change the blood to purple if you want, or blue. But it is about a military vet essentially going to war. So that's my take on the Halo series. Next update. This is Marvel. This is where I get super excited. Loki. There's been an official release date. Loki's coming out June 11th, which is pushed back from its original May release date. Honestly, I don't really care when it comes out. I'm excited for the movie. Tom Hiddleston kills it as Loki. Owen Wilson will be joining the MCU and as one of the Time Bureau agents, I guess you want to call them. I do think the Time Bureau is going to be investigating anomalies in realities and dimensions and things like that. I think it's going to tie into WandaVision and Doctor Strange too. I don't think maybe they won't make a cameo, but it's going to be a part of it. And the fact that it's just coming out in June. I mean, Marvel's releasing so much stuff this year, so we have a lot to look forward to. The trailer was released. If you look at it, you can look it up on YouTube. I'll include the link in the description when I do post a recap on YouTube. But I'm excited. June 11th, 2021 is amazing. And go check it out, because we want to, honestly, Marvel deserves our time, since they just continue to put out a quality product. Yep, so that's my take on Loki, and we're gonna keep going. The last major update this week is Roger Moore, who did the Battlestar Galactica reboot. It's just been announced that he is doing a Magic Kingdom TV series, a Magic Kingdom universe, I should say, TV universe for Disney Plus. So if anyone who's a fan of Battlestar Galactica, or BSG as most people know it as, the show was really well done, good special effects for the time and visual effects, but it was really more about the story, the writing. To me, he's very similar to Vince Gilligan, who does Breaking Bad and Better Call Saul. Everything seems to be thought out. Everything seems to be kind of really developed, and the writing is on point. So I don't know exactly what this is going to be. A Magic Kingdom TV series or TV universe. Who knows if it's going to be kind of more geared towards kids, if it's meant to be almost like a Who Framed Roger Rabbit, where it's kind of right in the middle for kids and adults, whether it's animated, live action, or what. But just the fact that he's the one doing it makes me excited. So I'm pretty pumped for that. They just announced that. We don't really have any release dates. It was just announced that it's being worked on. I'm sure more details will come out over the next year or so. Nowadays, a lot of times these projects, when they're announced, they're already being worked on by a good margin, so it shouldn't take too long for it to come out. And then that's really going to be it. Like I said, FanFest is going on right now. There are a ton of things being announced. I might do maybe a second recap during the week, or just save it for next Sunday and just do it all, having a kind of an extra long recap video. As always, I'm here live Tuesdays and Sundays. I will be posting the recap. Last Tuesday, it took me a long time to get the recap out. I don't know what happened, but I think I fixed the problem. I'll get this one out as soon as I can. And make sure you check out everyone else on the Generational Gaming and Entertainment Network, ScytheX, One Shot, TheCaptain, streaming randomly throughout the week. All kinds of games. I'll be back here on Tuesday to talk about WandaVision. Really quick, I'll just say, good episode. Not a lot happened, but there are some pretty major implications for what's coming on the show. So thank you so much for jumping in and joining in. Leave comments and like and subscribe on the YouTube channel. You can catch me on all the different social medias that will pop up in a second. And I'll see you guys on Tuesday.